On Saturday, November 9th, hundreds will gather to help the nearly 300 million blind and visually impaired worldwide during the Lion's Eye Institute for Transplant and Research Eyeball Gala.
That's right. This year's gala will celebrate the Institute's 40 years of ocular advancements that have helped give the gift of sight to men, women, and children across the globe.
And here with details about the Lion's Eye Institute and this year's eyeball are Kelly Sims and former Chief Financial Officer for the state of Florida, Alex Sink, who is going to get a major award from the organization. Ladies, nice to have you both.
Thanks.
Nice to be here.
Good to be here.
Before we get into the award that Alex is about to get, explain exactly what is, this is an eye bank that's located locally here in the Tampa Bay area. What exactly is an eye bank? Because I think a lot of people might think, well, you've got a lot of eyeballs on storage there and they're just waiting to be shipped off. What is it exactly?
We're a location that covers the state of Florida, 61 of the 67 counties in Florida, and those who are kind enough to be organ donors and pass on the gift of sight. That eye tissue comes through our facility. We're the largest in the world and the only one with a research center on site as well.
So Lion's Eye Institute has given the gift of sight to 55,000 individuals. How is it that that's come about? How do those individuals become eligible, so to speak?
The most important part of that is to be registered as an organ donor, and the state of Florida is one of the states that has the largest organ registry, so we're so thankful for folks who do that. And then at the end of their life, we are the ones who facilitate that by procuring the tissue and making sure that it gets to someone who is waiting for the gift of sight.
And Alex, when your husband Bill passed away, he was an organ donor, and from what I've read, I'm not sure, did you know that he was an organ donor when he died, or you were looking at his driver's license or something?
No, I wasn't
What happened
sure.
exactly?
Well, obviously it was an incredibly traumatic experience because he had a sudden heart attack and we were at the hospital, and the people at the hospital, as Kelly will say, were so kind and nice and said, you have the option of perhaps donating his corneas, and I'd never heard about it or thought about it, and I could have done it as his spouse, but I thought, yeah, let me check his license and just see. So I had his wallet, of course, pulled out his license, and it did say organ donor on there, and it just gave me a sense of comfort that I was making the right decision about doing
when
it.
you think about that, when you think, okay, I'd like to be an organ donor, and you know the help that it's going to offer, but from your personal experience to know that your husband was able to do that, what kind of sense does that give you?
Well, what happened was that people should understand that it is a process. They do have to speak to you within a certain period of time. I had to spend about a half an hour with the people at the eye bank, and of course, you know, I was dealing with children, but I kept telling myself, this is important, just stick with it, stay with it, answer all the questions. And then they said, thank you, and we'll let you know whether or not we're able to use his corneas to give the gift of sight to somebody else. And the most special thing was, about 3 weeks later, I get this letter in the mail that said, yes, we were able, because of your gift of your husband's corneas, we were able to give the gift of sight. And then I just felt so special about that in some way he lives on through somebody else's sight. And then when I posted it on my Facebook page, oh my gosh, the responses were just incredible from people who have parents or who had experiences, who just were, it was just overwhelming. I didn't realize it was such a big deal.
Well, it's interesting that you had the wherewithal to hold it together in the moment after your husband dies suddenly, and now you know you've got to handle the whole organ donor situation. Not everyone could handle it as well as Alex handled it, which is why it's important, like Bill McBride did, when you go to get your driver's license, check that box and become an organ donor, because it just makes it easier for your family if that unfortunate time should come.
That's absolutely the case. Making sure that your end-of-life decisions, we know, are very important. And you can now, because of legislation that's been passed in the state of Florida, you can also register online. No longer has to be at when we get our driver's license, which is that can be a difficult process in its own self.
That's true. So Kelly, you guys have a great event coming up, a big gala at Pepin's Hospitality Center, which is a beautiful place. But talk a little bit about that night, and of course Alex's award.
Yes, we're celebrating our 40th anniversary, 40 years of passing on the gift of sight. And as you said, 55,000 people have received the gift of sight through our mission and our work. Having the opportunity that evening to celebrate that and also bring attention to, as Alex has been so kind to do, to let people know that it is a process, serving as an organ donor, and then supporting our cause as well, and allowing us to underwrite some of those transplants for people who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford them.
The Light of Sight Award. And what would you say, Alex, to people that are not organ donors and they have the opportunity to be organ donors?
Well, just do it. It's really important. And after I did this Facebook post, many people said, you know, I went and checked my license and realized I just hadn't checked that box. And so now that you can go online and you can designate yourself as an organ donor, I mean, why not? You don't want to face the end of life, but we're all going to get there. And if we have the ability to contribute part of ourselves to help someone else live a better life and a higher quality life, then just do it. Just do it. And help your family.
The event is Saturday, November 9th at the T. Pepin Hospitality Center. It is a beautiful facility. For more information, go to the website on your screen, and we've got all the information at studio10.tv. Ladies, thank you very much. Nice to see you both.
So nice to talk with you. Coming up next.